The Baal Shem Tov was sitting in his shul in the little village of Mezhebush, studying with his students, when one of his Talmidim, his students, asked him a great question. He said, Rabbi, we learned that Rosh Hashanah Yikasev Uv'Yom Tzom Kippur Yichasem, on Rosh Hashanah where it's written, and Yom Kippur it's sealed, right? And then we're also told that, based on some sources, that on Hoshana Rabbah we can still appeal because the verdict isn't put into effect until Hoshana Rabbah. But then it also says that we're judged every single day. So which one is it? Are we judged every day, or are we judged on these Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur? Which one is it? Baal Shem Tov smiled, and he said, to explain this, we're going to need to take a walk. And so, the Baal Shem Tov and his entourage, his Talmidim, they went out and they began to take a stroll through the Ukrainian town of Mezhebush. Along their stroll, they bump into Chatzkel, the water carrier. He's making his predictable routes. Baal Shem Tov turns to him and he says, Chatzkel, how are you today? Chatzkel puts his head down. Oh, Rebbe, don't ask. It's so difficult. I'm getting older. My knees are hurting. My back is hurting. My friends are already retired. But me, I have to work. I have to support my family. I got to go down to the well. I got to draw up the water. I got to put it into my buckets. I got to schlep these 2 buckets on my back. I got to bring them to the customer. I got to dump it into their water cistern. And then I have to do it all over again for each customer. Rebbe, it's so tough. I can't. I don't know. Baal Shem Tov gave him a hearty blessing, a bracha, and they continued on their way. The next day, again after studying with his students, Baal Shem Tov said, come, let's take another walk. It was the same time. And they bumped into Chatzkel again, doing his predictable route. And again, the Baal Shem Tov greets him. He says, Reb Chatzkel, how are you today? Chatzkel smiles and he says, Rabbi, Baruch Hashem, a lot of my friends, they're already too old and sick to work. Some of them are in nursing homes. Some of them have passed away. Baruch Hashem, thank God I'm alive. I can work. I can support my family. I can still schlep these heavy buckets of water. I can still deliver them to my customers and get paid. And I can support my family like a mensch. Baruch Hashem. Baal Shem Tov again blessed Chatzkel, and they both continued on their way. Once Chatzkel was out of earshot, Baal Shem Tov turned to his students and he said, you see, nothing changed for Chatzkel. What he's going through today is the same thing he went through yesterday. What's different is how he feels about it. Yesterday he couldn't take it. He saw only the negative. Today he's seeing the positive. So even though his judgment might have been sealed in Rosh Hashanah, that he's going to be a water carrier and he's going to work hard, might have been sealed in Yom Kippur and Hoshana Rabbah, but every single day, how he sees it and how he approaches it and how he feels about it, and if he's able to deal with it, that's what's judged every day. And every single day we can change our own judgment of how we're going to feel about things and how we're going to be able to tolerate things. And how do we do that? What's a good technique for doing it? If you look in Tehillim, you look in Psalm 27, Tehillim Chav Zayin, the Davar Hashem Oiri, which we've been saying every day. Most communities say it until after Hoshana Rabbah. And we say, Ki itzbeneni b'sukkoi b'yoyim ra'ah. We're asking Hashem, please surround us, hide us in your sukkah on a bad day. When we're having a bad day, protect us, hide us, hug us in your sukkah. That's what I've heard the sukkah described as. It's like a hug from Hashem. Hug us in your sukkah, Hashem, hide us. We want to be protected by you. When you look in Tehillim, there's so many of these verses, of these psukim of Tehillim, that are here for people when they're having a bad day, when they're having a bad time. You can pull them in and you can look at them. You can see David HaMelech, King David. He didn't always have the greatest of times. He had such terrible times. He went through so much. But he took them out and he turned them into a Tehillim. He turned them into a Psalm. He compiled Tehillim from other people who were having bad times. He says, Mimamakim kirasich Hashem. From the depths I call out to you, Hashem. I'm calling out to you. Esai in alaharim. I lift my eyes to the mountains. Me'ayin yovei Ezri. Where is my help going to come from? Then he concludes, Ezri mim Hashem moisei shmayim v'aretz. My help is going to come from Hashem, who made the heavens and the earth. He went through so much, and he turned that into some beautiful Tehillim. But he had bad times, he had good times. So we can look in his Tehillim and we can gain some feeling of stress relief, some feeling of, okay, other people have been through this, they made it through this, I can also get through this. And at the same time, the Tehillim itself has a power. By saying Tehillim, we can be transformed, and we can transform our own daily judgment. Now, before Hoshana Rabbah, before, when we still have time to appeal, definitely it's kedai, it's worthy to say Tehillim. Many people have the custom to say the whole Sefer Tehillim, which is a beautiful thing if you can do it. Even if not, they pick up say a few choice Tehillim. It's also, today is called Hoshana Rabbah, right? They call it Hoshana Rabbah. People say one of the reasons that it might be called that is because we say lots of Hoshana, right? We say Hoshana, we do the Hoshanas, but Hoshana Rabbah, we do tons and tons of them. What does Hoshana mean? Hoshana is Hoshiana, please save us. Where does this term Hoshiana come from? It's also from Tehillim. Ana Hashem Hoshiana, please Hashem, save us, rescue us. We're begging Hashem. We don't know what to do. We tried already. We did Rosh Hashanah. We did Yom Kippur. We did it all now. Hashem, we need you to save us. Please save us. I was looking just for curiosity, and I wanted to see in the Tanakh how many times it says the word Hoshia. So I don't know if this is totally accurate because I didn't check all the spellings, but the typical spelling comes up 15 times. 9 of those times are in Tehillim. So Tehillim is full of Hoshia. Hashem, please save us. Ana Hashem Hoshiana. Hashem, save us. Ana Hashem Atzlichana. Hashem, give us success. David HaMelech went through so much, and he still came out and he wrote these beautiful Tehillim. We, no matter what we're going through, we could be going through a lot. We could be having a hard time. Be'ezus Hashem, on this Hoshana Rabbah, we'll say a little bit of Tehillim. I will merit, just like David HaMelech, to be able to even turn the hard times into some beautiful, beautiful moments. I'm going to end with the traditional blessing, the traditional bracha of Hoshana Rabbah, which is Piska Tava, or as they say in Yiddish, Agit Kvittel, and in English means a good note or a good verdict. Let us all have, Be'ez Hashem, we'll end off Hoshana Rabbah with a wonderful, beautiful verdict from Hashem. Amen ve'amen.